Hello dear souls, my name is Hayley, this is Divini-T, Tarot and Tea, and we actually are going to do a tea leaf reading at the end of this reading. So join me as we have an in-depth look into, this is going to be a more holistic reading. We're going to visit each of the 12 houses of astrology to look deep into what is going on, what advice Spirit has for you at the moment and going forward. So if you've got a cup of tea or coffee or whatever you prefer, take a seat, join me, and let's get started. So I'm going to be using the Energy Oracle as well as the Light Seers Tarot deck. They're two of the most popular tarot and oracle decks, and they are my personal favourites. I don't like to use them all the time because it can get a bit boring, but I do like to pull them out every now and then, and they go so well together, they complement each other. So the first house in astrology is all about self. So looking deeply into yourself, what your responsibilities are, what you need to work on, what is going on with yourself, dear soul. And we have victory. So this could be soul having its own victory. You could have recently have learned a valuable lesson in this incarnation. We'll take a closer look here. And we have the Four of Cups in the reverse position. So the Four of Cups in the reverse position indicate not being happy with something, not being satisfied, dissatisfaction, not seeing what you have but longing for what you don't have, that kind of energy. And this could have been recent lessons that you were faced with and you were having to go within self to understand, perhaps the lesson of self-fulfillment. That's a really important soul lesson, is when we learn that we shouldn't seek outside validation or outside fulfillment, that we should be fulfilling ourselves. Like oftentimes we look for a partner or a friendship or, whatever it is outside of ourselves to make ourselves complete. We are supposed to self-fulfill, and it's about taking yourself out, having fun with yourself, learning new skills, having hobbies that are fun to do on your own. Like, I live on my own, apart from my 15-year-old son, who's, spending time with his dad over the holidays. So it's just me and the dog at the moment. I've been single for quite a long time. Oftentimes I will go out by myself. Some people might find that strange. They might find it hard to do. They might find it a bit weird, a bit quirky, or they might think I'm a loner. But there's nothing better than self-fulfillment, It means that, when I am with someone, that I'm not going to be attached. I'm not going to be codependent, because I know how to enjoy myself on my own. I know how to fulfill my own needs. I don't need someone else, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to be with someone else. Does that make sense? So that's a valuable life lesson there. Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords talks about endings, closing out cycles, closing doors, in order to evolve and move forward, we oftentimes need to close doors to the past, end out cycles in order to move forward, because you can't keep both, you know. Oftentimes we hold ourselves back by staying in things that no longer serve us. The people and things in our lives are contracted to us for us to learn certain life lessons. But then once we learn them, once it's ticked off, then we're meant to leave that behind and move on to the next phase. That's all about self-growth, self-mastery. When we keep ourselves in comfort zones, you know, places and people that just aren't working for us anymore, and you can feel it when it's not working for you because you're not growing. Whenever you find yourself in a relationship or a situation in which you've become stagnant, you're not growing, then you've completed that cycle. You've ticked off that box of whatever it was that it was contracted to do. And now it's time for you to end that cycle and move on. And I know that, you know, society will tell us otherwise. We have conventions in our society like marriage, which doesn't exactly, you know, follow that kind of thinking. In society, we're told that, you know, we stay with the one person forever, that's it, doesn't matter whether you like them or not anymore. That is actually, I have to say it, spiritual bullshit. It doesn't make sense spiritually, okay? We're not here to talk about societal norms. We're here to talk about spirituality on this channel. And spiritually, that's bullshit. If you stay with someone past their use-by date spiritually, you're holding yourself down. You're stopping yourself from growing. You're retarding yourself. So we'll get one more card out here for the first house. And we have the Three of Swords. And I guess that goes along with that Ten of Swords, that heartbreak energy. You know, oftentimes we won't let go of certain things. We won't let go of people or situations because it's going to hurt other people or even hurt ourselves. You know, the Three of Swords is about heartbreak. Sorrow, pain, regrets, loss, sadness. And oftentimes it's more we fear what the other people will think. And here I would like to let you in on a little secret. You know, I mentioned that use-by date, that spiritual contract after it's ceased, after it's no longer relevant and you're staying in that comfort zone. Guess what? You're not just retarding yourself. This is very important for you to understand because, like I say, a lot of people do this because they don't want to hurt the other people involved. You're not just retarding yourself at this point, you are retarding them. You are holding them back from their higher potential. You are holding them back from growth. Oftentimes you are holding them back from their true love, from their true path. So I would just like you to reflect on that. So let's look at the second house, and the second house is about value and possessions. So the second house is more of that pentacle energy, the physical reality, possessions, assets, finances, that kind of thing. And we have community. And the community card in this deck is like the Three of Cups, which can be about, you know, society, parties, gatherings, social life, that kind of thing. But I'm thinking in this, you know, we're looking at spiritually, and it's about how others view you, or what you perceive others to view you, your relevance to that. Like, oftentimes we surround ourselves with material possessions because we want others to think of us in a certain way. We want to be seen a certain way. So we'll take a closer look at that here. And we have the Four of Swords in the reverse position. Now we saw the Three of Swords earlier, and the Four of Swords is the next card from that, and that's that healing energy, overcoming heartbreak. So this could be another valuable spiritual lesson for you, collective. Learning the lesson that you shouldn't care what others think of you. You know, spiritually, the truth is you shouldn't give a crap what others think about you, because what others think of you is none of your goddamn business. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but that's actually the truth. And the other truth is, if you realised how little time others spent thinking about you, you would understand how stupid the whole concept is. Because everybody is quite narcissistic, everybody is quite selfish, they only think about themselves. They're not sitting there thinking about you. They're not sitting there judging you. They don't give a crap about you. Strength. And it does take strength to rise above the need to accumulate wealth, to have others look at you a certain way. It takes spiritual balls to rise above the need to accumulate stuff just to be seen a certain way. So we're being quite honest in this reading today, and I hope you appreciate that. We don't sugarcoat things here. Judgment in the reverse position, and this is exactly what I was saying. You should not give a crap about what others think of you. Nobody is judging you unless you're the one paying their rent, feeding them, or sleeping in their bed. The reality is they're not really thinking of you. They don't care what you're doing either way. Everybody is quite selfish. And the sooner you learn that, the sooner you can be your more authentic self. You know, this life, this incarnation is not about accumulating stuff. It's not about how much stuff you've accumulated by the time you die. Or, you know, what your kids can inherit off you. That's not your legacy. That's not why you're here. You are here on earth in this incarnation to learn, to grow, to evolve spiritually and, you know, vibrationally. And stuff holds you down. Stuff stops you from being able to move out of situations, to move away from people that are holding you down, to move out of comfort zones. Stuff hampers growth spiritually and physically. So yeah, this is a huge lesson for a lot of people. So the third house is about communication. What do we need to look at here? We have the Sun. And the Sun, in relation to communication, is about being honest. So the Sun is, shining a light on everything. It's not keeping anything in the dark. It's, revealing what needs to be revealed. Being an open book. Not keeping things to yourself. Being open. Being truthful. And, that's a higher vibration. A higher soul vibration is when you can be in honesty. Be open. Especially to yourself. It's when we try to deny things, try to be dishonest to ourselves, that we trip ourselves up. We have the Knight of Cups. So this could be communication around your feelings towards someone. A need to communicate how you feel. Instead of playing stupid games, instead of playing the game, this could be a need to actually express how you are feeling. Being honest, being honest like that requires vulnerability. A lot of us don't speak our truth, particularly when it comes to romantic situations, because we're afraid of being rejected, afraid of being abandoned. But it's in that fear that we end up losing out. You can fear rejection and fear abandonment, but it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you likely won't get to be with that person because you're not communicating your real feelings. Ten of Cups in the reverse position. And for you, dear collective, in this situation, you are at risk of losing that person. Whoever this person is on your mind, your wish fulfillment, the person who you are feeling is the one, through lack of communication. That's what we're being shown here in the third house today. And we had the Five of Pentacles, which is just more of the same. Being shut out, being abandoned, being rejected. And it's that self-fulfilling prophecy. This person may walk away if you don't say how you feel, or if you don't communicate in some way how you feel. You don't make it shown, you don't make it known. If you keep being closed in that moon energy of keeping everything hidden and playing games and, expecting them to read between the lines and breadcrumbing them, then you are going to end up being on your own. You are going to be in this Five of Pentacles energy. So this is a warning from Spirit that you need to, focus on that throat chakra energy, communicate how you feel, and that requires you to be vulnerable. That requires you to be open, out in the sunshine, out in the light. Nothing hidden. And it is scary. It takes spiritual balls to do that. So the fourth house is family and home. We have patience. So the angel in this card, they hold a clock. So I feel like there is, some kind of timing aspect involved here. We looked in first house of closing out cycles that are no longer serving us. Contracts that spiritually have ended. So that could be what we're seeing again here. This could be in relation to partnerships in the home, family situations. Could be a karmic relationship. So we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse position here. So the King of Pentacles in the upright position is the man who is in that stable energy. They are grounded. You know, they are reaping their abundance. But here we see that he is in the reverse position here. And this is irrelevant of what gender you are. This is saying, you know, if you stay in that comfort zone, and it is likely with someone that's karmic in this situation for the fourth house, that you are holding yourself back from that abundance. You are holding yourself from being stable and grounded. We have the Nine of Wands, and that's that fear of taking that next step. You can see in this card here, she's got her eyes closed, even though she's got a light in front of her. She feels that there's this barrier here, but we can see that it's barely holding together. It's just a few sticks. There's sticks missing here. She's quite tall and could just easily walk over this bit here. But because she's got her eyes closed to it, she can't actually see it. And, you know, that's about mental restrictions, holding yourself in that comfort zone. You don't want to move forward because, you know, we saw early, because you don't want to hurt others that are involved. But, you know, we saw that that actually means that you're holding them back. You're retarding them. But you're not seeing that. You need to open your eyes. You need to open your eyes to this situation, that this contract has ended. And we have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is about dishonesty. You know, lies, deception, that playing manipulation energy. I'm picking up on a karmic situation. You can see here that the guy is holding his head. You know, this is really doing my head in. This comfort zone is not so comfortable, is it? They're holding themselves down, but they're denying the truth of it. You know, they're saying, oh, but society expects me to stay because that's what's expected of me, even though that's spiritually stupid. So we'll look at the fifth house, and that's about pleasure, joy, fun. What is going on in your fifth house? We'll just move these over a bit so we can fit them all in. And we have happy family. So in the traditional tarot, this would be the Ten of Cups, that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the wish fulfillment, the perfect relationship. So this is what you're wanting, and it's interesting that it's coming up in the fifth house of pleasure. This is what would make you happy, and you know about it. This is your heart's desire. This is your soul's desire. And I'm feeling, we can see from the other cards here, that you're denying this of yourself because of what's expected of you in society. This won't be for everyone. This is for a certain group of people in the collective that will be watching this reading. We have the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups refers to choices, many choices, many roads of which to go. You can see here we've got the snakes and ladders energy going on in this card here. You know, some choices will lead to downfalls and demise and and other choices will lead to spirituality and ascension. And it's about choosing the right path. Well, we know with choosing the right path, it's always soul versus ego. You know, some might say head over heart, but I say soul over ego. You know, it's a frequency thing. Everything in our reality is based on frequency, including this choice. It's a frequency. You can choose the lower vibration of staying in ego, and you can have your material possessions so that you look good in front of your friends. And you can stay in your relationship that's past its spiritual contract because that looks good in society. And you've got a reputation to think of because you care so much about what others would think. And you will deny this thing that is your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, your wish fulfillment, your happily ever after, your heart's desire, your higher soul frequency, and you will keep yourself shut out in the cold because that's not the done thing here on earth. These are decisions that you're currently contemplating, dear soul. Like I said, we're not sugarcoating things today. And we have the Magician in the reverse position. You are holding yourself back. The Magician is you. You are the creator. You are the creator of your reality. And once you realize that, you take back your power, but you are giving your power away to everyone else. You are saying, but I can't because they expect me. What would they think? I don't want to hurt them. You're giving your power away. You are the goddamn magician. You are the creator of your reality. You need to wake up. You only have yourself to blame. You need to stop living in victim mentality. I can't because they. I can't because them. I can't because she won't let me, he won't let me, they won't let me. You need to stop that. You need to grow the hell up and stop that. Take your power back. Knight of Wands in the reverse position. This is exactly what I was saying. You need to grow up. You need to stop being the Knight of Wands in the reverse position, which is a childish entity, a player, a manipulator, someone who only cares about the shallow, someone who only cares about material possessions and fun and, you know, in it for a good time, not a long time, and don't care who I hurt along the way. As long as I look good to everybody else, this is that energy. And your spirit guides are saying, cut it the hell out. Grow up. So, we're going to look at the 6th house, and the 6th house is your health. What do your guides want to tell you about your health today? Financial constraints. Number 13. So in this card here we can see an empty closet. There's spider webs. And that's how you're feeling. You're feeling empty. And it's an emptiness because you're denying your soul. And when you live in those lower vibrational frequencies of ego, it affects everything, and it affects you physically as well. And so your health may begin to suffer. You are spiritually poor, is what this card is saying. It's not about being materialistically poor. I mean, you could be quite well off. You could have a lot of assets. You could have a lot of money. You could be doing quite well financially. But that's not what this card is saying. This card is saying that you are spiritually poor. And it's because you are denying yourself. And, you know, when you're in that lower frequency, you are in danger of getting sick. And I just dropped a card on the floor, and that was the Knight of Pentacles here. So the Knight of Pentacles, again, is referring to money. But in this situation, you know, this is about spiritual finance. The Knight of Pentacles is really slow and methodical, almost to the point of too slow. It's like we saw earlier with the angel with the clock. There is a timing aspect, and it's like you're about to miss the boat. It's like you're waking up to some of these realities, but you're not doing it soon enough. You're procrastinating, you're putting it off. And the longer you put it off, the worse off things are going to get. Because you're keeping yourself down in a karmic situation that's no good for you, and it's no good for the other person, and it's no good for the people around you. We have the moon, and you know the moon is keeping it in the dark. You need to shed a light on it. You need to actually focus on it. You need to really look at where you should be on a soul level. Not where I should be in my societal standing. Where I should be on a soul level, on a spiritual level. And once you start being honest with yourself and truly following your soul's path, then things will start to come together for you, and you will be spiritually healthy. We have the Two of Wands in the reverse position here. Again, we see a choice here between two, and you're not making the decision that needs to be made. You know, we see the globe here, and we see a picture of it looks like a combi. So, you know, it's material possessions, and it's what would others think that is holding you down from making that soul choice. You're staying in ego because of others. So we'll move on to the 7th house, which is partnerships, contracts, relationships, marriages, business contracts, friendships. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. And the 6th chakra is the third eye chakra. And the third eye is the spiritual knowing, the spiritual seeing. So we'll take a closer look here. It's about guidance from your spirit guides, your spirit team that are trying to help you. We have the Chariot in the reverse position. So not going ahead with something. I feel like Spirit is trying to guide you towards something, trying to push you towards something, but you're in denial of it. You're not listening, and this is to do with a relationship, a partnership. This is about leaving someone and going towards someone else, I'm feeling. It's about listening. It's about listening with your third eye to the advice given. The Hierophant in reverse, and the Hierophant can refer to your spirit guides, your ancestors, your spirit team that is helping you along the way. And because it's in the reverse position, you're in denial of it. You're not listening, you're pushing them away. Eight of Cups in the reverse position. Yeah, they're wanting you to walk away from something. They're wanting you to close out a cycle that's no longer serving you. This spiritual contract has ended and now it's beginning to harm you because you're staying in that lower frequency. You're not growing spiritually, and you have a spiritual contract here on earth to complete in this lifetime, and you're denying it. So that is the contract of the 7th house, is your true direction, your true path. So we'll look at the 8th house, which is about transformation, endings and beginnings. And we have the Angel of Balance. So the Angel of Balance can refer to justice, you know, spiritual justice, karma. We can also see that this angel is surrounded in blue, and the lamp that she's holding is blue. So it can refer to communication as well, things that need to be said. We have the Page of Cups in the reverse position. Again, it's about denying your intuition, denying that knowing that you've been given by your spirit team about this situation that you need to close out. Again, I'd like to reiterate that this reading is for a certain group of people. The Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords can oftentimes refer to a karmic person that you are in a relationship with, or a situationship with, or, you know, it could be a family member. And so, yeah, this is about completing that cycle, ending that cycle. We're getting a repeating message through this reading here. We have the Eight of Wands in the reverse position, which is that stuck energy, stagnant energy, not moving forward. Staying in that comfort zone, staying in the nest, whereas you should be spreading your wings and learning to fly. So let's go on to the 9th house, because we're just getting repeating messages there. The 9th house is about your purpose. It is about your soul contract. Why are you here? Why are you here? What is your reason for being? What is your spirit guides wanting to guide you towards? We have walking away. And, you know, I'm being shown again that this is part of your soul growth. Your ascension is learning when to close out those cycles and walk away. You can see the pearly gates. There's pearls on the top of this gate here. You know, pearly gates referring to heaven, but what is heaven? Heaven is a metaphor for ascension. So your ascension is soul growth. Soul growth happens when you get out of your comfort zone. Six of Cups, and this mission that you have, this contract that you have, is with another, is with a twin flame or a soulmate, someone that you are destined to be with, someone who you are currently denying. We'll take a closer look here. the sun, you know, shining a light on it, that beautiful healed energy that, you know, once you walk away from that lower negative vibration and you walk towards your soul's purpose, this is when you will get your health. This is when you will get your abundance, your manifestations, your happiness, your joy, your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This is your everything. And because your vibration will be so high, it will spill over onto others, and that is your mission here. Your mission here is literally to raise your vibration, to raise your frequency. And how do you do that? You do that by following your soul, following your heart, what you know is right, what you're denying, what you're not listening to. Knight of Swords. Yeah, you need to run. See this person here? This person here is running towards their dirt bike. We saw, where did we see? We saw the Knight of Pentacles earlier, and he's the slow procrastination energy. He's walk. He is run. You need to run, not walk, because we saw earlier, we saw with the Patience card, time is a factor. Time is a factor, and I'm feeling like, dear soul, you may miss out. You may miss out on this opportunity because you've taken too long. Time is a factor. And, you know, what may have begun as whispers from your spirit guides may now be shouting. You can't deny this anymore. You are actually working really hard to try to deny this at this point. So let's move on to the 10th house, social status, how others are viewing you. Which, you know, I said earlier, who cares? We should even just like, you know, there's the 10th house. Who bloody cares? You know what? I am. I'm going to leave it like that. We don't care anymore what others think. We are grown. We are evolved. So let's move on to the 11th house. Community. Friendships. Social groups. Workmates. The 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, and that is the heart chakra. We have the 9 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles is about that abundance, that manifestation, harvest time, reaping what has been sown, you know, being in that good place. And I feel this is more to do with spiritually, you know, once you have gone towards this person that your soul team are pointing you towards. I feel like this person could be involved with your workplace or your community or your friend group even. 6 of Pentacles in the reverse position. So the 6 of Pentacles is about reciprocity, about that give and take, that balance. You know, you give, I give. We don't have one putting everything in and the other just receiving. So, you know, you need to put your part in. I feel like You're not doing your part. You're not, because you're possibly in denial. Or it could be showing us that, because this is not a karmic situation, there won't be that one person dominating. There won't be that abusive situation. This will be a really balanced, harmonious connection. We have the Devil in reverse. Yeah. This love that your soul team are pointing to you towards is not a karmic situation. This is not a narcissistic situation. This is not a codependent attachment situation. This is not a toxic situation. This is the real deal. And I feel like, dear soul who's listening today, you may have been in these toxic situations. You may not know any better. But trust me, trust your team that there is better. That there is, believe, have trust, have faith that the real deal is there. You've just got to take it. You've got to take it. Stop being in denial of it. And then we come to the last house. The last house in astrology is the 12th house, the subconscious. And we have attachment. And it did actually come out in the reverse. So it's about letting go. Stop keeping yourself in these places that no longer serve you. You know this on a subconscious level. You do. You've just been in denial of it. It's time to drop the mask. And it's time to walk away from situations that no longer serve you, dear soul. We have the Six of Swords in the reverse position. You need to cut those ties. You need to let yourself free and let them free at the same time. This is not all about you. This is not selfish energy. This is giving energy. You're giving them freedom as well. You're giving them an opportunity for growth as well. You're giving them the ability to fulfill their own contracts, their own, be on their own true path. Five of Wands in the reverse position. And your energy will stabilize. You will get out of that crazy, chaotic energy that you've felt because you are in a karmic situation, because you are in a situation that has expired spiritually. It's not going to work. It's not going to be cohesive. It's always going to feel like a struggle. It's never going to get any smoother. It's always going to be like this. You're always going to struggle. And we have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position. It's just not going to work. You're flogging a dead horse. You know that it's over and it's time to let it go. So we've looked at all 12 houses here and we're going to finish up with a tea leaf reading. And so we're going to look into the cup to see what we can see. Now I can see a lot of birds. They look to be like crows, and birds do represent that spirit messenger, listening to your spirit guides. Looking at things from a higher perspective, from a soul frequency perspective. I can see a rider on a horse Again, that's that charging forward. Stop staying in that stagnant energy, that comfort zone, moving out of the nest, having that spiritual growth. I'm seeing a huge mass here, and that's that chaotic negative energy. You know, it's just never going to work. It's never going to be cohesive. It's never going to be that steady energy that you are longing for, you are craving. And you know you can get it with that soul connection that you're being guided towards. And so I'm going to leave that there, dear souls. And I hope this reading reached who it was meant to. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.